A new and much-needed dementia care unit has opened in Mount Vernon. Melanie Perry is the director of American Seniors Community Memory Services. She's here with the story of Augustus Cottage.
Good morning.
Good morning. It's an intriguing title. Who is Auguste?
Well, Auguste is, if we were still in Germany where she lived, we would refer to her as Augusta. But she's a lady by the name of Augusta Dieter of Frankfurt, Germany, who in 1906 started to show symptoms that we now know are the hallmark symptoms of Alzheimer's disease. And those symptoms were actually discovered by a neuropathologist at the time by the name of Dr. Alois Alzheimer. And so with that discovery, she then helped us to begin our understanding and knowledge of Alzheimer's disease, thereby learning its nature and helping us to know how to serve individuals who have these diagnoses subsequently. So it's in her honor and in her memory that we've named our program Augustus Cottage.
What a wonderful story and an important one for the history of research.
Truly.
Now let's bring it on home here to Mount Vernon.
Yes.
And let's talk about the unit.
Sure. We're very excited by what's happening with our neighborhood, our memory care neighborhood at Mount Vernon. Lots of reconstruction, lots of renovations have been occurring. We are nearly open. We're simply waiting for some of our friends from the state offices to come in and give us the go-ahead to allow people to come in. Once that happens, we will have 38 accommodations where we will be able to serve 38 individuals with diagnoses of Alzheimer's disease or related forms of dementia, of which there can be many, but within a very specifically designed dementia-supportive, dementia-friendly environment, just with a day full of very specific wellness-based activities for our residents in our care.
And so this is a daycare unit, or
It is full-time. This is our
full-time?
residents will live with us day and night, 24 hours a day. Mm-hmm.
Well, as you're developing this unit and building it out, basically, what are some of the important key elements that would go in this unit that you might not see in others?
Well, we strive for a reminiscent environment. There's a process in many forms of dementia known as retrogenesis, and basically what happens there is an individual, as they experience their dementia, they may go back into their history and begin to almost relive those earlier days of their lives and come to think that they may be existing once again in those earlier days of their lives. So to help support that phenomenon, we have a very reminiscent environment with actually reminiscent displays on the walls that our residents can see, that they can interact with, and just have that familiarity, around them. And then in addition to that, we have very specific activities. As I mentioned, a wellness-based activity program that nobody else is offering in our area or in our profession in the Indiana area for our residents in a skilled long-term care memory-specific environment.
And can you give us an example of that?
Sure. So for instance, with a wellness-based program, we actually nurture 8 domains of wellness on a regular basis for our residents. Domains of wellness that may pertain to our intellectual functioning, our physical functioning, our spiritual functioning, knowing that that's such an important part of so many people's lives. Creative wellness for people with dementia. If they lose that ability to speak verbally, which many of them will, or to express themselves verbally, we will have creative means through which they may express themselves and share with us what may be in their heart, and then other domains of wellness too that we will tap into on a very regular basis.
Melanie, I'm so happy to hear that this is coming to the Tri-State, and I know Tri-Staters who are watching this are thinking, I want to connect there. If they feel like their loved one would be a candidate, what do they do?
They would contact either Krista or BJ at North Vernon Nursing and Rehab, and they will be happy to help them, to answer their questions, to help them perhaps make a move into our community. But the first step is making that call. If anybody's wondering whether or not their loved one would be appropriate, we would be more than happy to help them make that decision and find out if this would be an excellent option for them.
Thank you so much for this wonderful information.
It's my
We're so
pleasure.
glad to have you in the Tri-State.
Thank you for having us.
And we'll be back with more local lifestyles right after this. Stay with us.
This portion of Lifestyles has been sponsored by American Senior Communities.